Being effective at learning doesn't just begin when you open a book, practice a skill, or pick up your instrument. It actually happens before that. For most of us, when we actually start learning, we're doing so with suboptimal mind and body performance. So, in today's episode of Art of Drumming HQ, we take a look at how to prime our mind to be at tip-top condition even before we start learning or practicing, so that we can concentrate better, absorb more information, and fix problems and mistakes faster. Let's talk about something known as working memory, which we use all the time when we are in deliberate practice. You can think of working memory as a notepad in your head. It holds information as we figure out what to do with it, and unfortunately for us, it's got a pretty small capacity. For years, it's been thought we could hold about 7 pieces of information in our minds at once, but more recent research suggests it's 4 at most. Those 4 chunks of information can be big or small. Suppose you are practicing a section of the brain dance with the help of a chart. Your working memory is now processing all the notes that you are seeing. You're listening to the metronome and actively keeping in time with it. There are ghost notes and rim shots to differentiate. You use your ears to pick out inconsistencies in the strokes. You're trying to navigate through an uncomfortable coordination. Suddenly, the name of a friend comes to mind, someone you have to call later, and then you notice yourself rushing and pull yourself back. You miss your first rim shot, and you notice that you forgot to pay attention to the consistency of your ghost notes. You make yet another few mistakes and come to a grinding halt. That's the limit of working memory at play. There were at least 5 chunks of information taxing our working memory in that example, but it could easily be 10 or even up to 20 pieces of information. One person might be a better reader and can focus on all the ghost notes, right cymbal, kick drum, and all the different coordinations as one piece of information, but another less experienced or practiced person might see that as 4 separate things to focus on, and will find it really difficult to play with a metronome, or to even listen for stroke consistency, or even to actively check for mistakes. That's why when you teach a student, they can miss out on some of their mistakes, while you're always there to catch all of them. And that's why you can also pick up more mistakes when you're listening back to yourself on recordings, rather than when you're playing or practicing. Because the students and your working memory were at full capacity, and there was just no room for any more details. So, here's what we can do about the problem. Write down whatever you're going to practice for the entire session instead of keeping it in your head. The more details you can add to your practice plan, the less details you leave for your working memory to store. For example, what tempo markings are you going to practice, what exercises, the duration of each exercise, even what to watch out for. And leave all distractions outside the practice room. If you use your phone for practice apps, at least switch it to airplane mode or switch it to silent with no notifications. If you're feeling any negative emotions, you might have gotten into an argument with your partner, or your boss might have been an extra handful today. Find a way to calm down and tune those emotions out before you start your practice session. If you can do this, you'll be freeing your mind up to concentrate and absorb everything that you're going to learn or practice. We all know that we have a limited amount of energy to use on a daily basis, but there are so many things that demand and drain our energy every day, and some of those things we don't even know it because they happen so often. When it's time to practice and learn, we have so little fuel left in the tank, and therefore our practice suffers as a result. I'm going to reference Buddhism to explain this. When Buddhists become monks or nuns, they take only a set of clothes and shoes and enough money to travel to the monastery. They give away the rest of their possessions and money. They also leave all their family and friends behind. At the monastery, they're given 2 to 3 sets of robes, a bowl for storing items and eating out of, and a set of sandals and shoes for traveling, along with basic necessities mostly for hygiene purposes. They eat from a single place every day, exercise at the same time every day, do chores at the same time every day, talk to the same few people every day, and practice gaining enlightenment at the same times through the same series of practices every day. This is an extreme way of doing things, but there is a great power within. Monks and nuns have far fewer things that demand and drain their energy as compared to the rest of us. And when it's time to dedicate to their craft, they have so much energy left to do so. Deciding what to eat for breakfast in the morning takes up some of our energy. Choosing what clothes to wear takes some of our energy. Talking to a friend, a colleague, or a family member, our students, our teachers, checking emails, messages, notifications, replying to comments on your Instagram or Facebook posts, and posting witty comments on others. What snare drum or cymbal to buy next? What phone to upgrade to? Where to go for your next holiday? When you are feeling down, but pretend that you're not and put up a cheerful front. when you're waiting anxiously in anticipation of an important application, when you want to punch your boss in the face but have to force a smile instead. The more of these situations you face day in and day out, the less energy you have left when it comes to practicing or learning. That's why giving up almost everything works in favor of those seeking enlightenment. For the monks and nuns, they are dedicating all their energy to understanding the mind, to reflecting, focusing, and meditation. And they have such an abundance of energy every day because they don't have to face the things we face on a daily basis. I'm not suggesting that we become monks, but we can keep our energy vampires to a minimum. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg wear the same outfit to work every day. I eat cereal or toast every morning with a cup of coffee. I eat the same thing for lunch every workday. Keep to-do lists so you don't have to spend energy thinking about what you need to get done on a daily basis. Plan your practice way beforehand so you don't waste energy deciding on what to practice before and during practice. We've all been in conversations or situations that have felt draining. They're usually poisonous ones with individuals we don't even like but are unfortunately higher up in the food chain. If you can avoid interacting with these people or being in their circles, you're going to benefit so much. Surround yourself with positive, motivational and inspirational people. If you're angry or depressed or have an unsettled matter troubling you, don't keep it inside you for too long. Talk to a friend about it or meditate. The sooner you recover and calm down, the more energy you save. Pretending to be someone you're not, pretending to care about something you don't, going to work in a job that you hate, putting up with a friend or spouse or boss for the wrong reasons. These are the hardest things to change about anyone's life, but they are also the worst energy vampires. So as much as possible, make sure your relationships, your environment, your career are not your energy vampires. To summarize, our working memory can only hold up to 4 chunks of information at any point in time, and we want to dedicate all of it to our learning sessions. Write down all the information you need for practice in a practice plan, and leave all physical and emotional distractions outside the practice room. We all have a limited amount of energy to spend every day, and everything that we engage in takes up some of that energy. So minimize the number of decisions you have to make, such as what to wear or what to eat. Design routines, to-do lists, and plans beforehand to save even more decision-making energy. Preserve more energy socially and emotionally by surrounding yourself with quality and positive relationships. Don't bother with toxic, negative people. Find a good working environment and a career. And be true to yourself. Do all of that, and you'll be better primed to take advantage of your brain when you're actually learning or practicing. And there's a bonus. You'll actually reap benefits in all other areas of your life. That's all for today's episode. Stay tuned to part 2, which will talk about how to retain all the information that you learn and practice reliably and possibly forever. If you liked this episode and want to support me, hit subscribe or join the Art of Drumming faction. I'll see you guys at the next one.